You can all click recording in progress. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Ashley Schmidt and I am the VP of Programs. I remembered it right today. And we thought we'd have a general meeting virtual just to kind of meet and greet everybody, just kind of chat. I know last year we had a ton of people on. I think it was just because of how last year went, but we thought it'd be fun to have a general meeting where if you wanted to meet virtually, we could do that. And so that's what this is tonight. We're just going to kind of go through a few things. I have a raffle item. This is from our shop. Let me see. Sorry. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. So they're really nice. I love these kind of water bottles. So I have one of these and I'll raffle it on the end. I'm just going to do a random number generator. And right now we have 1, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to put like 1 to 11, hit wherever you are on my screen. Right. Okay. So that's my method. I had to pick some method. I was like, random number generator. I can do that. So let's see. So kind of how it's going to go. The agenda is Nicole is going to talk to us a little bit about the membership drive or any announcements, events, that sort of thing that's going on. We're going to do a PWN memories section. And I know I have Pat Harvey, Jennifer Maroney, and I know I sent you an email, but I don't know. I didn't see a response if you wanted to share too. No, it's fine if you didn't. You're looking at me like, what? It's fine. I just saw you and I was like, maybe she responded and I totally missed it. Totally, it could happen. It's been a really rough week for 2 weeks for me. Anyway, then we're going to do I was going to go through some kind of like, maybe we could talk about a little bit about Nicole too, about the membership perks. I have a few written down, like the weekly or the monthly lunches and dinners, and that you can use Zoom, that sort of stuff. And I wanted to ask if anyone wanted any suggested trainings. We're always doing different trainings, person or virtual, and if you guys had any ideas. And then I'm going to call it around the Zoom. So around the room, but around the Zoom, just kind of go around. And I'm going to say, do a 1 to 2 minute intro. We don't have too many people, so, even 3, but like an intro, your business, and either an interesting fact about yourself or the most exotic place you've gone to, like in travel. So just throw there. I'll repeat that so you don't have to remember that now. And then I'll do the raffle real quick. Does that sound good?
Awesome. Sounds like
okay. So Nicole, you are up first for announcements.
Okay. So I don't have a list ready, but kind of go off what I typically have been sharing. First of all, thank you guys all for joining us and Ashley for putting this together. I really appreciate it. We, like she said, just wanted to give everybody an option to connect virtually if they're not comfortable or haven't been able to make it to the in-person events. Just a reminder to everybody here, we do have power groups. So that is a great way to get connected if you're not yet connected to a power group or are thinking of starting a power group. That's always an option as well. And then we did just also launch a virtual power group. And Erica just restarted the strategic mastermind group. So that's available to all members of PWN. It is not considered your power group. So definitely check that out as well. And that came out today. So talking about the events, I will also mention to you guys, in case you don't have it or haven't utilized it, we do have an app for PWN through Wild Apricot. On there, you can see all the members, you can see the events and what tickets you have, and it has your profile as well. So that's where I've gone just to pull up what's currently on there for events, and tonight's Zoom is there for the membership meeting. Then we have an event coming up with Erica and her group, Connecting to Self-Care. So that's April 13th. And then we have the PWN Strategic Mastermind on the 14th of April. So there are some events there. This month, luncheon, if it happens, is going to be a last minute thing. We've been trying to find a location, make that happen. So if anybody has a suggestion or wants to connect us. Okay, Susan, you can mess. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to suggest Charlotte's Cafe.
Okay.
I think she's a founding member. She's not a member right now, but I talked to her about rejoining, and she's interested. And they're very slow at times.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
think they would do a good job. I think that if we have a big group like we've been having, that we may want to do like a buffet style. I think that she could do that for us.
Okay. Well,
Like a
you and I
couple-
can chat then too offline and we can see what we can come
Okay.
up with.
Okay.
And
And also I want to suggest the Holiday Inn in Newport News. Again, doing a buffet style.
okay.
That might be, more feasible with because we've been averaging a good amount of people, 30 some. And I know
Yeah,
Liz over there, and we could do different
great.
options. And then we have a couple of vegetarians in the group and stuff. So I actually had their vegetarian lasagna when I was invited to a Rotary meeting, and it was
Oh,
really good.
nice.
So
But we have been having those once a month and Victoria has helped kind of steer us on those. And then we've also had evening events. So those are always something that if you do want to help coordinate something or put on, please connect with Victoria or Ashley if you have an idea for a training like Charity mentioned. And then definitely check out the app and utilize that. Questions on anything so far? The other thing I'll plug too, I've been trying to say, and Ashley, is this kind of a time where you want me to mention the perks as well? Or is that a little later on the agenda? I think you're muted. You're
There we go.
muted.
Yeah,
Okay.
the perks and membership drive or anything.
I
you
can
wanna
do
say
all
on
that now. Yep. Okay. So now I muted myself. One on the app and where I mentioned the directory, I really encourage each and every one of you to take advantage of having access to that directory of all of our members. You may not necessarily know that person, but why not reach out and connect and find out how you guys could collaborate, connect with their network, you connect your network to them, and you just never know what may come, and you just may make a new friend. And again, it's women supporting women. So utilize that directory. It is one of the perks of being in PWN is having access to that directory. Another great perk that we were able to offer this year is that every PWN member has access to our Zoom account. So if you need to utilize a Zoom and you don't have a paid one and you need it to run longer, or you just want to use this one, it is available to you as a member, because we went ahead and renewed it knowing that we may want to, thanks Susan, that we may want to continue and not knowing 100% what was going to be going on. And it was time to renew, and they gave us a nice offer. So we were able to take advantage of that. So please know that that's available as well. Help me think of other things. I'm going to talk about the shop real quick because our raffle item came from there. If you haven't yet, please check out the shop with the logoed items. There's some great products there. If you have an item that you're looking to add, you can reach out to Ashley and see if it's available. The great thing is we do get a percentage back from them. And Jennifer, I know you sent me something today. Was that our second kickback? Okay, so we've already received almost $100 or a little over $100 from that. It is not why we created the shop. However, it is a nice bonus that we do get a little bit of money back. And what we're doing with that money, just so you guys know, is it goes into our fellowship fund, which we are utilizing to give back to our membership in different ways. One of the ways is going to be our membership only event that will be happening April 23rd. Details to come out. So we're working on that. But with that membership only event, we are also combining that with our current membership drive, which is going underway. Hopefully you guys saw the video, saw the emails, any posts that we've made. What we are trying to do, we have a goal of 25 new members by April 15th. And we're asking each and every one of our members to be out in the community, talking about PWN, inviting women to come check us out. Remember, they're welcome to visit all of our power groups, find the power group that fits for them. And then hopefully they'll want to join our organization, even if they don't end up in a power group, but still connecting with women within the community and know that we are here for support. When you ask somebody to come check us out, a couple of things. We have membership cards with the QR code on it that you can pass out, put your name on there. And then when they register, one, they can click on that QR code. It'll take them directly to where they need to register. But two, then they'll have your name on there as well as who referred them. And if you can stress to them to please note on their registration that you as were the PWN member that invited them, so that you get credit, because there will be prizes for the member that brings in the most new members. Then there's also a prize that if you are recruiting them into PWN and they also join your power group, so now you're growing PWN, you're growing your power group, then that power group that brings in the most new members can also win a prize. And we will be gifting them some sort of either sweet treat if you're an evening group, or some sort of pastries and coffee if you're a morning group, as a thank you for recruiting in the new members. But again, one important aspect there is you want to make sure they note on their registration which power group they are joining, so that you all get credit for that. So be out in the community. I know you guys all are, but be inviting and encouraging other women to check out PWN and see what we are all about. We'd love to grow our numbers by at least that 25 if we can. What else? Go ahead. Two more things. Go ahead.
Just to know, I just took a look at our new members that joined today. Mary Griffith was their person who invited them.
Yay!
So if you want to do a shout out on Facebook, I'll send you the information so
Thank
you
you.
can welcome them to PWN and acknowledge Mary for she brought in a bundle. So that's 2 new members under her name.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
What is the deadline again? I'm sorry, I missed that first part.
April 15th.
Okay,
April 15th.
so we got about a month.
Exactly.
Okay,
A month.
I got
So
I know
would
one
say-
person. So
awesome.
just got to get them to, do the actual application.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a couple of people sitting there. I'm like, just sign on.
Yeah, like I want to do it.
Drag it out.
I
Last
want to do
night
it. Let's do it.
at Debbie's event, she was like, "Oh, give me a referral card, Nicole. I got some." I was like, "Okay, got them."
Is Debbie here? Is Debbie here?
No, she's not on. She's
Okay,
probably
well-
enjoying a day off. from
Okay,
her.
well,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Well, I'm glad everybody came out last night, because I'm in charge of the York County Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours and Business Before Hours. And they said my goal was to make it a signature event. So with you all that came, mic drop.
It was a beautiful event. They did a
That was
great job.
awesome. All right, sorry, Nicole, I didn't mean to
No,
get off.
you're good. You're good. Jennifer, was there something else you wanted? You had 2 fingers up. Was that for the 2 new members, or was there something else?
2 new members, but another benefit of membership is that we get the discounts on printing and purchases at Office Depot.
Yes.
So
And that's
And
really
that-
easy now. It's on the website, like right there. It's so easy.
yeah. If all you have to do is log into your account and access the virtual card. And it doesn't matter if you're doing, purchases. It isn't on electronics, but like things that you would use in your office, pens, papers, notebooks, things like that are 10% off. You get $3, I'm sorry, not 3 cent, like 3 cent or 4 cent black and white copies, and like 25-cent color copies. So it's, the copying, and that's for small businesses. We need a bunch of handouts or something. You can't beat the price on that printing. So,
Absolutely. All right. Anybody have any questions on stuff that we've said, or something you want to just add to it that I missed? Go ahead.
Erica said, did you mention the advertising member events and
Mhm.
announcements in the newsletter?
Absolutely. Yes. And I did mean to, because I saw yours, and that was a little trigger. Thank you. So as a PWN members, you do have the right to advertise your own events that you are hosting yourself. So we can't advertise my friend's event, but if I'm hosting it and I'm involved with coordinating it, then we can use our website, our PWN group, our newsletter to advertise those events coming up. And that just gives you more of a reach. So that was a great one. Yes. Great. I have an echo. Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah. No.
Susan, you're on twice. It may be.
I'm sorry. My computer is so slow.
You're fine. I just saw that. I don't know if that's why. I just hear an echo. Maybe mine. All right. Okay. That sounds like I fixed it. Thanks, Susan.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. No, is everybody else there? Yeah. Okay. No worries. That happens.
I just want to mention so that everybody knows, this is just general like information. Business after hours for the Virginia Peninsula Chamber is Thursday, the 24th of March, Mid-Atlantic Residential. I can send information if anybody wants to come.
Yeah, you can post it over in the chat too, Susan.
Okay, all right, I'll do that. And that
Awesome.
just an opportunity to network some more if some people are interested.
Definitely. Thank you. All right. So I think for my portion, Ashley, unless you think of anything else.
No, that's pretty good.
Okay. Thank you,
All
guys.
right. So the next part is PWN memories. Pat, Harvey, and Jennifer. So Jennifer, you're unmuted. Do you want to go first?
Okay. Anything in particular you would like me to touch on?
No, just it's supposed to be like a 1 or 2 minute, like your like a memory of PWN, how it started, or anything that kind of, I don't know, just to kind of give people history of, this great organization.
Right. So I've been a member for 20 some years now, like well before I went gray. And things that I remember, I remember going to meetings and being very welcomed by members of the organization and feeling like it was important that I was there. And it's been such wonderful connections. I've known Pat Harvey for as long as I have been a member. I've known New Jurgen for as long as I have been a member. And even though sometimes we all flip in and out because of what's going on in our lives, there are times where we're more active than not. And other times where we may not see each other for 6 months. It's always like coming back to a warm friend every time that I walk into a PWN meeting. So I've been passionate enough about the organization that they have a hard time kicking me off the board. They'll say like, oh, Jennifer, your 2 years is up. Don't you want to go do something else with your life? I'm like, no, I love PWN that much. And I love PWN because when I came to the organization, I was working for another company. And it wasn't until I became a member of the Peninsula Women's Network and I saw all these amazing ladies who were doing their own things and, exploring their own desires and saying, I can be, a mother, a wife, and a business owner and, make my own path in the world. I really felt inspired and empowered by them to do the same for myself. And that is absolutely positively why I love the Peninsula Women's Network. I left a 40-hour-a-week job that made me absolutely miserable to work a 95-hour-a-week, business that I absolutely enjoy even when I have rough days like today. And the best part about it is I can hop onto a Zoom and go, oh my goodness, I just had to fire an employee today. And everybody's like, man, been there, got your back. What do you need? And sometimes it's just that you need them to listen. So I really think that's the best part of PWN. It's just that community. I never feel like I'm in competition with anybody here, even if we're doing the same thing. It's just that shout out of friendship and support every time I walk into a room, or sometimes when you walk into a York County Chamber of Commerce event to support another member, and they really appreciate that you made the extra effort to send them a little love. So.
There. Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Yay. All right, Pat, what is your PWN memory or memories?
You're muted.
You're muted.
test here. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Cheers, Jennifer.
All righty. I definitely remember meeting Jennifer. She and new and a bunch of old cronies that are just hanging around nonstop. But I was introduced to PWN by Audrey Tyree, who was one of the founding members back in 1981. I can't even think how far long ago that was. Anyways, at that time, she was a trust officer at the bank where I was setting up some support for my girls. And she suggested the PWN and gave me a little sales pitch, one of which was that she and the 3 other women who started PWN were really upset because they had no place to network. I mean, women couldn't join the James River Country Club on their own. For instance, you had to be like an adjunct member for your husband's membership. Same with Kiwanis and Rotary and a whole bunch of other things. So that was the one thing. And then the other thing she says, she herself was a trust officer, but she had trained God knows how many young men, to do the job that she could do, with her eyes shut, and they hired those guys instead of her. So she finally did get into to be the trust officer. So of course, I went ahead and went to my first PWN function, which was at Christopher Newport. It was a series of seminars. And it was sponsored by Agnes Berganza, who was the, she was the director of student services, something like that. So she had access to the facility, and they were setting up I signed up for an assertiveness training seminar, a little workshop. Okay. And I thought, well, this would be really cool. And I can remember going into the room, and everybody was sort of milling around. I didn't know anybody. And there was desks or tables or whatever set up. And some people were seated. And so it was getting close for the program to start. And these 2 women started arguing. I mean, just inside the room, very loudly, very vocally. And I was just appalled. I couldn't believe it. What the devil? But they were going at each other. And then they just stopped. And the moderator of the group, the seminar leader, said, this is an example of an aggressive approach to problem solving. We're going to show you assertiveness. So I thought, wow, this is cool. Anyways, I was a member for about a year to 2 years, but then I went back to school full time. And then I got my master's and went to teaching for 15 years. And then I came out of that. And 2001, I decided to start my own business. And guess what? PWM was still there. I couldn't believe it. So that was how many years later? 2000, 81, 91, 2000, a long time. And so ever since then, I have been depending on PWN for support, to helping grow my business, and just a very warm, wonderful group of people. So that's my memory.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Jennifer. So much fun to learn how things started. I'm always fascinated by that. It's just fun and exciting to hear from people, and I always love that.
I know way too much, let me tell you.
Well, you never can know way too much. Never. You can always learn more, right? Always learn more.
That is so true.
Yeah.
History is so much history,
Well,
As
I am just so happy that, I was a member of BNI for 15 years, and I've left, the BNI, but I stayed put with Peninsula Women's Network. I wasn't letting you guys go, okay?
I remember when You were in B&I way back when.
Yeah.
And you know what, you know, some of the past thing is that I think I joined when Dr. Elder, Catherine Elder was president, right? Way back when. Yeah. And we used to have, you know, stuff, you know, all over town, almost like we have a lot of stuff at Kiln Creek. You know, we even had things at the Mariners. You know, we had things at Fort Monroe. That was a good one. Yeah, that was, and you know, it's interesting is that, you know, the people you get to know at PWN becomes your lifelong friends, you know, even
Right.
today, right? You know, Pat, you know, even today, people that are not even members anymore, you know, we used to have that breakfast beauty group. Remember that? And they
Not-
still
not-
meet now. Not as many people, but they still meet now. And most of them not in PWN anymore. But yeah, never forget the I think the thing that they get me is that when I was networker of the year, do you remember, Pat?
Oh, yeah.
I was giving birth when you guys gave me that thing. I wasn't even there. That was a good one. The other good one was, you know, doing my presidency is when we went online. That was like, oh my gosh, me and
Yeah.
Delaney.
I know you were scared, New, but hey.
I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm like the last person to want to go online. And here I am, you know, president of PWN. I'm putting this group online. What am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
So I never forget.
Kicking and screaming, but you did it. That's right.
Yeah, kicking and screaming, right? So when I finished my presidency, never forget this at the annual, you know, dinner passing the gavel, Pat Weber printed out a printed directory and gave it to me in front of all these people. I was like, oh my Lord. But you know what? I told her, I said, you know what? I can get there faster than I can get online.
Little did you know we'd all be here Zooming together these many years later. See?
It's always the joke that Delane Milton and I are the last one to do anything on the computer, right, Jennifer? It was the thing. It was like, oh no, she like everything. I'm like, Jennifer, help me. Even today, I almost call her today because I don't remember my password. And it's a good thing my assistant said, oh, there's like a password thing. Let me do that. I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead. Sign me up while you're at it. So here I am.
Get a teenager in your life and you will know everything. Yeah, they will solve everything.
You do have teenagers. What is that?
Get a
those
teenager.
boys.
They solve everything for my teenagers solve everything for me when it comes to that.
Ladies, I'm curious how the membership has changed. Like, I imagine, 40 years ago, there weren't as many women with businesses as there are today. So has it changed where like there were more women that were working in companies, or has it always been women business owners?
It's really, I think it was a mixed bag. There were women like Audrey Tyree and who had, really very, I don't know, say important, but they had more or less prestigious jobs. And then there were tons of women who just needed help getting started. I mean, you just needed to get women who had raised families and they needed a way to get into the business world and find jobs. And there were women who were, like I say, were interested in growing their businesses. I mean, if they were real estate agents or anything that where they needed to make contacts in the community, that was a big deal because there was, like I said early on, relatively few ways for women to meet other business people and make contacts in the community. So the Women's Network was really started to help women to make those contacts and get out there and make things happen for themselves and their families.
Hey, Pat, do you remember that we used to have one male member?
Oh, yes. was the detective. What was his name?
The private detective, he was getting all kinds of business from us.
Mhm. Yeah, he was a member for a long time. He would show up at the annual meetings.
Oh,
It's interesting.
he was, I never forget that. Oh, that was very interesting.
Mhm.
But,
I
you
just
know, I
can't
mean,
think of his name.
I can't think of his name either, but I got an old directory somewhere. I'll look it up.
You got to follow your market.
I'm telling you that was a very interesting thing. But do you remember we had that time capsule thing that we did, that big event, huge event, and then we have all these photo album laying around. People are looking at the album and say, "Hey, you know, I didn't realize you look like that." You know, that was, well, this is like 20 years ago, so we're not looking like that anymore. But even then, but there was, you know, there was stuff that we had put in the bucket. Do we still have a time capsule somewhere floating around, a new one?
I don't know. I don't know,
I
but
don't
we're
know
gonna
if
go
we have
look.
a new one. When Julie Butts was president, I know they opened it and went through it at the annual dinner. It may have gone back with Nani. So it's one of the things that we could always look for, Pat, when we
Yeah,
are
we're
going
gonna
through
go
the
through our-
archives.
We're gonna go through that stuff.
That would be
Yeah,
fun to have set out like in an area, you know, some of those items at the annual dinner this year.
That's why I thought it'd be nice for Pat and I to go take a look at it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love it.
yeah. It's you now. There's a storage unit, right?
Not anymore.
No, they got
anymore?
rid of.
Oh, you got rid of that. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's being held at our bookkeeper's office in Gloucester.
okay.
So
Bec-
that
I
was
remember.
part of our contract. So
Oh,
so she
good.
can't throw it out.
Because I remember when I took over as president, man, Patty Andreessen show up with a truck and my garage was packed with stuff. I'm like, oh my Lord, what is this? And it's just full of history, you know. And then I couldn't wait when Mary took over for me, right? Was it Mary? I can't remember. I think Mary Griffin took over. And so I couldn't wait to get all that stuff to our house, man. This was like one of those things like, oh, I can't wait for that. You know, now I got my garage back.
The poor president had to keep all the junk.
Oh, well.
Memories, right? And I remember too, it's like, that is the only place, I mean, PWN is the only place where you could actually, I mean, Michelle Rose and I actually breastfed it at the board meetings. I don't know if you remember, Pat, but I've been on so many boards for so many years. That never happened anyway. I can tell you that right now. But, you know, all kids are growing up now.
That's
Michelle's
right.
a general now, so. And she's still very fond of PWN.
Yeah. The folks that tend to stick around just kind of stick together. So it's cool.
Did you say your daughter is a general?
No, Michelle Rose.
Michelle Rose is
Oh.
a general.
She's
She's
a
a past
former-
president.
Yeah, she's a past
Oh,
president.
okay.
Yeah, she's a
that's-
2-star. So it's very rare for a woman to be 2-star.
Oh, that's so cool. And where is she located?
She is now at the
Colorado, I believe.
yeah, she's in Colorado right now.
Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna see her in 2 weeks, so she'll be back here this summer. Yeah, our kids kind of grew up together, you understand? PWN, breastfeeding, you know, all that, you know. So they know each other, they're in their 20s and whatnot now, you know.
That was a while ago.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, that was wonderful. It's fun to hear all of the stories and everything. So the next up was suggested trainings. Does anyone have, and you can type it into the chat, or if you have any suggested things anyone wants to learn about, we'll see if we can do something like that. I just wanted to throw it out there so that if anyone had anything.
I would like to see something about managing social media for your business, you know, to where you can make it doable in a reasonable amount of time.
Okay, yeah, that's a great one.
You know, and also I could do something on how to promote your business through a news article, not necessarily like advertisement, but make yourself a source. Like make yourself an expert in the field and how to do that.
Like a news art, what are they called?
Experts in the field.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
trying to,
and a news article. So I could show some people how to do that and, you know, give some ideas of how people can they promote themselves as an expert.
all right, yeah, I'll have to, I've got some. So Erica had learn about going from freelancer to agency, building a team. Okay. Any others? You can type them in too. I'll write them down. If I don't, hopefully I'll get them all. I won't close the chat until I make sure.
I like Erica's idea of building a team because I hope to do that by the end of the year. So that sounds interesting.
I actually, well, maybe I should. I actually have a friend who they just did that. They got a bunch of VAs and stuff and have built a team. And I don't know, they're not in PWN, but they might be an interesting speaker and stuff. So I'll look into that because they just did that. I'm envious.
And we can invite outside speakers too. So yeah, definitely if you have somebody that is a great trainer or somebody that would be willing to come share to our membership, we'd love that. So think, you know, outside of our network as well.
I don't have anything to contribute other than if anybody interested in board service, board governance, all that stuff, then I can help with that. But other than that, how to run your own business for 35 years.
All the tips, tricks, whatever people.
Actually, it should say, I'm trying to quit for 35 years. I'm trying to get fired for 35 years.
Hard to fire yourself, isn't it?
I say that all the time, but it's not happening.
Okay.
Your peeps need you to know.
Okay. Finding an ideal client.
And
Okay.
I don't know. It wears you down with all the, you know, everything you have to deal with, you know, this environment, especially when you have a business that have employees. You know, Jennifer knows that, but you know, it's interesting.
I taught middle school. That's why I do not have employees.
You know, it's interesting when YLS has all these employees of different kind, and then I have to deal with all these property managers who are like a whole different group, you know. It's an interesting challenge.
Yeah, but you don't scale until you have employees.
That's a good way. I like that comment, Jennifer. That's spot on. I also work with interns. If anybody is interested in talking about that, yeah, interns is a whole different level, and especially when you have interns that are the same age as your children, your child, and so you have to kind of like balance. Like, I'm not going to be their mom. I'm going to be their advisor, and I actually do not let my interns call me Miss Acker. I say you call me Susan. You know, so because I'm ushering them into the adult world. Is the way I look at it.
I think a bunch of our employees are children. Never go.
My mom is my
told you that
admin.
a long
I
time
told her
ago.
if she wasn't my mom, I'd fire her by now. She got too much smart mouth.
I don't hire my kids.
Oh my God. I'm still waiting for my kids to help me, Pat.
Yeah, well, what is it? Your oldest, I'm sure, would do it.
Yeah, I'm sure if he gets out of the room. He's 25 Anybody keep an eye out for a goal, you can introduce to him, get
Oh
him
my
out.
God, you really are a tiger mom, aren't you?
I'm telling you, Pat, he just walks up, walking up in his room and he stays there. Can't pry him out of that room other than to eat. I'm
It reminds me of the movie Failure to Launch.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's not launching. As soon he was walking, he was in a suit, tie, everything in Northern Virginia and DC. As soon as they say telewalk and COVID, he hop on his car and come on back home and stay here ever since. Jeez.
You need to find him a woman that cooks then, if the food's what brings him out.
Oh,
I
and
told
you
you
can
can cook.
cook.
No,
And
I
you
know, but I'm saying to get him out of the room, if there's a girl that he could
And
be
she can
invited
cook for
to
him.
her house and she does the cooking. That's how to get him out of his room.
I want to put an ad in PWN. Anybody knows a 25 to a 20-year-old girl?
We are here to support you and your son's needs. Put it out there.
PWN
Neil.
classifieds.
Yes, put it in the newsletter, put it on the website.
Actually,
Just like pina coladas.
Nicole, actually
What?
nowadays, teach the guy to cook and then he'll attract a girl who doesn't anymore.
Well,
Doesn't
that's,
cook.
yeah,
He can
that's
cook,
my
Danny.
household, but I didn't, that's my husband. He does all the
I have a niece whose fiance we all hate. So there might be an opportunity here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does she cook, Susan? I mean,
Yeah, she does. She cooks and she's very outgoing and she's good at pulling people out of their shell.
oh my goodness. Too
And
funny.
See, it's all about women supporting women.
And we bring it full circle. Look at that.
That's awesome.
All right, rein us in, Ashley.
All right, around the Zoom, right? So, okay, I'm just gonna say people's names as they're in the order I can see, because that's the best way I can think of to be organized. Okay, Nicole, you're first on mine.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Nicole Powell. I'm the current president, and I'm having so much fun with PWN. And I know, New, you said you call on Jennifer all the time, and that I'm still doing the exact same thing all these years later. It is Jennifer that we all go to. So she hears all the time how grateful we are that she's still around and able to help us. So outside of PWN, I'm a mom and a wife. My husband is an entrepreneur with 2 businesses here in York County, and I have run an online activewear shop. So I have leggings for lounging around at home, leggings for running errands so you can still look good but be comfy, and leggings to work out in, plus all the other accessories that you may need as you spend your day, however you may be spending it, but you want to look good and still be cute. Last night to our chamber event at Debbie's, I wore some of my joggers and one of our tops, and still look professional and put together. Got lots of compliments, so that was nice.
I didn't even know that's what you were wearing.
Yep. So we have it all, but anyways, and then I don't know if I said I was a mom. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they keep me crazy busy. And so I do run around a lot in my leggings and joggers, but thank you guys. Thanks, Ashley, again. Appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so let me do the intro, kind of what your business is, like an interesting fact or exotic place you've been, which I don't think you got that one. And then you wanted to add the your favorite aspect of PWN. So
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that. So
Thanks.
4
So
things. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. Thanks for the reminder. Am I muted? No. So most exotic place I've been, I grew up in Europe, born and raised in Germany. So I was very blessed that I've seen most of Europe, East Germany. Back when it wasn't as open, I got to go to the Berlin Wall, unfortunately, but sign that several times before it finally came down. I remember my mom wasn't able to go with us because she had a German passport. And so they would stop us at all the checkpoints and wake you up, if you were asleep, and they would check your passports and stuff. So that was maybe not exotic, like, wow, beautiful, but very, very different. And unfortunately, right now, going to the grocery store, I sometimes feel like I'm going back in time there when everything is so bare right now. I mean, the first time I walked in and saw a grocery store, I was like, whoa, it was super eerie. I don't know. It was very, very eerie, that feeling to be like, wow, this is crazy. I feel like I haven't seen this since I was a little girl. And then my favorite thing about PWN is the people, but that's across the board in my world. I love people. I love connecting with people and getting to learn more about them, but also their history. So this has been just a lot of fun.
Okay, next is me, because that's the next person in my thing. So hi, I'm Ashley Schmidt. Let's see, I have 4 girls. I'm a active reservist in the Air Force. I'm a lieutenant colonel, and I'm pretty busy doing that. I have 3 businesses I run. The one that's kind of pertinent to you all is I publish books, and I can help you guys publish books for you, that sort of thing, that are booklets to kind of as a creative way to advertise your business. So the easiest way I always describe it, if you're a real estate agent, instead of giving out a business card, I could help you make a book that has like checklists for selling your home or like maintaining your new home. And then, they pull it out every 6 months or a year to do all the things you're supposed to do to maintain your home, your name's on it, that sort of stuff. So you'll throw away business cards, but not a book. Right? Even if they give it to somebody else, still good for you. Let's see. So I was going to do an interesting fact about myself. The coolest thing I think I've ever done that was really, really fun was I got to hang, which you guys may not think is cool, but I got to hang off the back end of a Black Hawk helicopter during a practice night ops with night vision goggles. And then I got to shoot a giant 50 caliber machine gun at flares. And they were very impressed that I actually hit, because like, if you've hit the flare, if there's 2 flares, right? So there's one, and then if there's 2, you've hit it. So they're very impressed that I got a line of flares that I split. So I was impressed too, because I had no idea. I mean, it's not that hard. You aim the thing and press the button. But anyway, it was really fun. I enjoyed that. My favorite aspect of PWN is the people. That's kind of why I joined. I don't necessarily need to promote my business. I'm kind of here to help you guys. That's pretty much why I joined. We move every 3 to 4 years. We're actually moving this summer. So I'm always trying to jump in and just kind of meet people and just help others, because I don't know, I have some really weird skills. So like hanging out of helicopters and such. So yeah, that's me.
Or telling me how to get border off of a wall that's been there since 1980.
Wallpaper removal. Yes.
Yeah, you got it. She helped me out. You need to know something, go to Ashley.
I probably
outside PWN stuff, because that's Jennifer's role, but all the other places, I'm like, I bet Ashley knows.
Random fact. If it's random, I probably know it because I just collect that. All right. So next on my list is Pat.
Well, you already know that I've been a PWN member for a long time, and I have 2 girls and 1 stepson, and I won't tell you my girls' age. I would just say that they're all grown up. And my business, I parlayed my art training and an ancient commercial art associate's degree into a freelance graphic design business. And I work mostly locally with small business people and professionals. And I specialize in print media, as opposed to, I can always set things up for the web, X pixels by X pixels or whatever is needed. But I'm the kind of person that obsesses over kerning, liking the space between letters. Okay. That's not the kind of thing somebody who does graphic design for the web is going to be all bent out of shape about. So basically I help my elevator pitches. I help small businesses and small business people and professionals look professional on paper. I also provide emergency rescue services for those DIYers who insist on doing their graphic design and get it all screwed up. whether they're working with Canva or Vistaprint or whatever. I can always recognize those Vistaprint cards because they are constructed on their screen at like 300%, 300% of original size. So when they're printed, they've got like 6 or 7 point type, and you can't read it. So there's lots of interesting little things that people get themselves into when they try to do. It's just like trying to do your own accounting or any one of a number of things that small business people absolutely insist that they can do. So I help, I rescue. That's my mission in life. Emergency services for DIYers in graphic design. Oh, and you want to know the most exotic place I've ever been?
Yes.
I guess it's been about 5 years ago now. I went on a rafting trip with my youngest daughter on the San Juan River, which is on the border of Utah and Arizona, in the middle of nowhere. And there is a spot there called the Goosenecks, where there is a canyon, which goes like 1,200 feet straight down. And in a space of 2 miles, the goosenecks wind back and forth, loop back and forth on each other, 8 miles. So the rafting trip was 80 miles, took us 6 days and 5 nights. And it was an absolutely amazing experience. Sleeping out in the open and going on a raft. We did not have to do our own rowing, and the rafting folks, when fixed amazing meals. So yeah, that's probably one of the most exotic places I've been. My husband and I RV'd for a number of years, so we've been all over the United States of America, mostly out west, because if you're born and raised in the East Coast, you want to see something interesting, you got to go out west. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it. And you already know why I like PWN, so.
Cool. All right, next on my list is Jennifer.
Hi, so let's see, Jennifer Maroney. I am the owner of Critter Sitters and More, which is a company that I built because of the support of my PWN members. I found my graphic designer in PWN. I found my web designer in PWN. I found my tax accountant in PWN. I found my first couple of business coaches in PWN. So I love PWN. Let's see. I've been married for 20 some years. I am the mother of 3 amazing children who are off doing their own thing outside of the home. Though I get a little concerned. My son is going to be coming back from London for 2 years, and I'm kind of concerned that he's going to move in and be like new son and just be very happy to hang out in the bedroom all day long. Yeah. Let's see, interesting fact about me. I know this is so weird, but I'm very excited. I've started having hot flashes.
Oh, gee. All
And
right.
I refuse to
I'm not
complain
been
about it
there over that.
because I have looked at my uterus for the last 2 years and go, could we just shut the baby maker down? And it's going to happen now. No, it's something I've been waiting for. I am probably for me, the most exciting place I've been is Spain. I loved it so much. I went back a second time. And I feel really fortunate because I feel like I've had the ability to do a lot of travel in my life that a lot of other people haven't gotten to do. And you were talking, I think, Pat, about Utah. I will be in Utah in May. So
Yeah.
so excited.
Check out the Gooseneck State Park, and well, it's right on the Arizona-Utah border. So
Okay.
it's a tiny little place. You won't believe it. I mean, there's just a gravel parking lot and a couple pit toilets and some picnic tables, but the
Ooh, pit
you-
toilets? No, that's not my thing. I've seen
You're stood in the
those.
West.
oh well, I won't share you some of the other experiences I have been. So
My friend will have an RV though, so I should be pretty safe. So
All right. Thanks, Jennifer. Next on my screen is Stephanie.
There I go. Okay. Press a couple times for the unmute, but I am Stephanie Thompson and I'm relatively new to PWN. I was a member many years ago with a different business, but I've been back since Jennifer invited me, I guess it was last summer. And I own Thompson Translations and Tutoring. I'm a translator for German, and I also tutor and instruct German, all levels and all abilities. I've got some students that are learning from the beginning, and I've got some that just want to kind of keep up with their language skills that they've acquired over their lifetime. So I've got kids and adults that I tutor and teach. And yeah, that's probably about it for the business. Well, the translating, I translated more in the beginning before the pandemic, and somehow the pandemic has kind of put a wrench in that. So I'm excited that I just this week got another big translation project in, so maybe things are picking up on that end a little bit. Anyway, as far as travel, I've traveled a lot. I'm half German and I grew up in Germany like Nicole, and my most exciting trip was probably after graduating from college. I spent 4 months backpacking across Europe with Eurail Pass with my roommate, and that was just the best time. And I'm so glad that I took the time to do that, because when are you going to have 4 months to be able to be carefree and be a young person and have no responsibilities? And it was awesome. We had just a shoestring budget. I mean, I don't know how we managed with the little money that we had, but we did, and had the best time ever. And crisscrossed all over, and just it was wonderful.
Do you stay in youth hostels?
We did youth hostels, and people that we met at the beginning of the trip, if they were from other European countries, would crash on their floor like toward the end of the trip. It was
So cool.
yeah, it was really fun.
That's awesome.
And PWN seems to be a really fun place. Lots of nice women, and I've gotten several referrals for business too. And I've also used the directory to, when I had some needs that were financial mortgage stuff, I was able to contact some people, and they were very helpful. And so it's a win-win both ways, I think.
Love that. Thanks, Stephanie.
All right. Next on my screen is Catherine.
I can unmute myself again. Hey, everybody, I am Catherine Dress, and I own Elements for Personal Healing. And I work with body, mind, spirit, as well as Gillespie approach CFT, which is craniosacral fascial release. And I'm pleased that I've been somehow getting out there on moms' websites and groups, that I've been seeing a lot of babies lately who've got tongue tie and fascial strain patterns and feeding issues because of it. And it's been fun to keep my hands kind of dipped into the pediatrics as well as working with the adults. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make it to anything lately, but we have been really incredibly busy. So one thing that nobody knows right now, we just bought a house in Blacksburg. Go Hokies. And when my husband retires, that will be our forever, yeah, go Hokies. That'll be for our forever home for retirement.
My daughter's a Hokie. My daughter's there right now.
Honey, I married a Hokie. I majored in tech on the weekends because I went to Radford. I birthed 2 Hokies, one married a Hokie. So darn tootin', my grandkids get all the Hokie and Radford Highlander stuff. So
I say I root for them because I'm paying them. So if they're getting my money, I might as well root for them.
There you go. Root for them on Friday when we go to the big dance for both the men and the women.
All right.
So yeah, we bought a house, we're renovating it. And so I've been in and out of town, and when I'm in town, I've been, working my tail end off, and that's been a lot of fun. And let me see, the most exotic place I've been. Well, we lived in Hawaii as a kid because my dad was Navy. Got to go to pre-COVID, we went on the inaugural celebrity cruise trip from Ireland to Iceland and Limerick, Scotland, and back, and that was 10 days of just a lot of fun and getting to see those countries. And this next October, we will take a river cruise down the Danube. And something special about that is that, especially, with as common as it is, but not talked about as it is, I was diagnosed 6 years ago as having celiac. And so, yeah, and I don't know why, but people think that, that gluten-free and vegetarian go hand in hand, and they really don't. We like meat. But with that, there's been an organization that has been formed with a travel agency in Florida, and it started as a pediatric hospital on the East Coast, but they have started celiac cruises, and so they've got it with rural Caribbean, and for the families, and then we're taking the river cruise for 2 weeks, and getting to see all sorts of cities, so that's going to be exciting. And I've been taking classes in advanced epigenetics, which is, yeah, that's smoke coming out of my brain. And I'm also, going for a new certification in a new modality called body intuitive, which meshes East and West medicine. So Western medicine knowledge with Dr. Laura Stuve, who's a microbiologist, and Eastern with Dr. Janet Filippo, who's a doctor of Oriental medicine, and it's phenomenal, and I love it, and it's geared towards healthcare practitioners. So come and see me. Well, it's lots of fun. So did I hit all your questions, Ashley?
I think so. Got
Okay.
lots. Thanks. Let's see. Next on my screen is Sandra.
Hello, everybody. It's great to see you. I am Sandra Sessoms-Penny of Inevitable Growth Life Coaching and Consulting, and my business has been in operation for 12 years. And my first year, I met Pat Harvey in a BNI meeting, who invited me to PWN, and I haven't left. So 12 years as a part of PWN, enjoying every moment of it. I love the relationships that I've formed with some folks who are no longer here, but we're still friends. I am a coach, speaker, trainer, author, tutor, educator. I'm also a professor at a university, online university. I help people to get their dissertations. As a coach, I help people to get unstuck and to move forward. So if your son wants to talk with me, I'm happy to have a conversation with them about how to pick up, know where you are, know where you're going. I just help people to do that. And I think that's a natural segue for me because in addition to being retired from the military, Air Force, paralegal, I also taught 8th grade and then became a school administrator and then a college professor. So that's where I am now. I'm also an ordained minister and I love people. And the most exciting place, Europe and the Caribbean. My father's Bahamian, so I love anything and everything about the Caribbean. And I just enjoy doing masterminds, helping people to become coaches and things of that nature. That's it for me.
Thanks.
Now
Next
do
on
you
my
have
screen,
free time?
I know. Next on my screen is New.
Well, I'm new and I'm old grass for a living, so to speak. What else? Most exotic place I ever been is in an SUV in Portugal between two walls and trying to get out. So, and Michelle was driving. So
It's an
There you
adventure.
And we passed by a bunch of old men that were sitting out, you know, watching us going down this road without saying a word. Just watch us just go down that road. And then we had to, you know, Michelle being the skillful driver that she is, she backed us all the way back there. And so they're laughing their head off, but none of them said, don't go down that road. Well, that was the most exotic thing I've ever done. Other than getting lost in the arches in Utah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, I actually got lost. And again, who was I with? Michelle. So there you go. It's a good thing she was in the Army. I mean, she is in the Army and can find our way out. Otherwise, we'll be bird meat.
That's right.
I'm
No doubt
telling you.
about it.
Well, something not known about me, probably I've been living, well, I was living in 2 houses for about 14 years. So one in Yorktown and one in Hampton. So the Hampton house was my holiday house. It's a little odd, but you know, it is what it is. Now I'm living in my Hampton house with 2 houses worth of furniture in it. So if anybody wants some furniture, you know, reach out to me. What else? What's that? What else am I supposed to tell you? I forgot.
Your favorite thing about PWN?
Oh, absolutely. The people. I go out a lot and I get excited when I see like Dr. Sesson Penny. You know, I just like, wow, you know. So, you know, I mean, when I see Jennifer, anybody I know from PWN is like, you know, Kristen Beal, anybody. So I get excited. And you know, because the PWNers help each other a lot, you know. I mean, Pat did a lot of stuff for YLS back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And
A while back.
Teresa Wagner still does, I don't know, is she still in PWN? She's,
I don't know.
okay,
No.
did my website, you know, so, you know, I mean, just like you guys say, it's like, and people that knows for life, I mean, you know, I'm on this Zoom thing every month or something, Pat, can't remember, but all the old PWNers that are scattered all over the country, we Zoom once a month. Isn't that odd? I mean, it's really odd, but it is what it is.
That's really
So,
cool, though.
so I belong to these old PWN people with the Zoom and you know, boy, a cooker breakfast, stuff like that. Something. Oh, I have 2 board certifications actually. So I have a National Association of Corporate Directors certification, and I have a fellow. And I'm also a National Credit Union volunteer certified. So there you go. You guys know everything about me. I don't know if there's anything you don't know about me. Oh, I have 3 sons. You know the oldest already. Doesn't come out of his womb. The second one's, you know, doing his thing. And the third one is the crazy one. Pat knows that one. He's
They're-
inside.
They're all good.
So y'all watch out. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And next on my screen is Susan. It's you, but you're on mute.
Well, okay, I didn't quite read out the questions, but I'm going to wing it based on what I've heard so far. And if I leave something else, I'm sure you'll let me know. Susan Smigelski Acker Smigelski, because I am Polish and I am so proud of my motherland and how we have helped the Ukrainian people. I'm a 2nd-generation Polish American. All my grandparents immigrated from Poland. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of them. I'm sorry. But
It's perfectly fine.
this is why I keep my name where it is, in the middle. Because I have drawn from that strength of being a Polish American.
It's awesome, Susan. No, it's good. Thanks for sharing. You
We've
want me
been,
to come back to you? Are you okay?
no, I'm okay. Okay. No, I recover quickly. I'm Polish, recover quickly. Here's Polish, the Virginia Peninsula Magazine. We have a women's football team on the cover of our magazine this issue. They were supposed to come to the last luncheon, but some things happened and they're going to come to the next one. And I hope that we can start supporting this team. They are that was literally the most fun interview I've had in a while. And I actually walked away from it and Scott was with me, my husband, and I said to him, this is why I love being a journalist. So they were so fun. And so we need to, like, you know, help them out and go to games and whatnot, because they're awesome. And I have Virginia Peninsula Magazine, which I started right before the pandemic, not knowing there would be a pandemic. And we have pursued and we are thriving now. And we are looking to grow into a full online news organization. I am currently in a course with it's called Lion, Local Independent Online News. And I am in a course with them to grow this by the end of Q4 to a full peninsula only, covering the school systems, covering the city councils, and doing all that online.
That would be wonderful. We need this so badly.
We do. I am like, the research is almost awesome. I mean, we have like Google Initiative, News Initiative, and I was actually driving back. Some of y'all know that I drove back from Western Virginia yesterday because I'm taking care of my daughter who went back to tech. And I was listening to podcasts about these founders, and it's amazing the support they are getting. It's really like, because people want local news. All politics is local. It just comes back to that. Mm-hmm. And we need to have that, and we need it on the peninsula, and we need it just for us. I am from Norfolk, as Nicole knows, and I love, you know, that side, but I also come from small news organizations, and that just focus on that community where we live within a 50, 60, 80 mile radius. So that is what I'm proud of. What was some of the questions? Oh, I am married to Scott. We have been married going on 23 years, and we're going to be celebrating our 23rd anniversary in Newport, going to a wedding. And it's our anniversary is October 23rd. So we're going to have our 23rd out, and the kids are like, we're not coming. And I'm like, nah, no, you're not. So, and he runs the business with me. He is from an accounting background, engineering background. So he is like kind of the back guy. As Jennifer knows, he did her ad. Yeah. So yeah, he's all about research and finding things out. I'm from Norfolk. The most exotic place I've lived is in the Kwajalein Atoll in the Marshall Islands, 2,500 miles southwest of Hawaii. There is a army post out there. Matt, many people know it. And it was my first job out of college. 15 guys to one gal. I bought one drink in 1 year. and
experience.
Oh, it was great. And I was the feature writer for the local military publication. So I got to do a lot of fun stuff out there for a year. And the other most exotic place I visited is Salzburg, Austria, where we were engaged. So yeah, he did it right, Nicole. Or anybody else who's been in that area.
That's awesome.
And I have a daughter who's at Virginia Tech, Charlotte, and she is scheduled to be out of school in a 5-year period with a master's degree in urban policy and planning. So, and my youngest is looking at Savannah College of Art and Design. She is a senior. And so we have another meeting this weekend in Richmond with some advisors that are traveling up to Virginia. So we're hoping to get her in there and get her to go. And yeah. So yeah. And I've raised powerful girls. And Pat, I have to say, you remind me a lot of my mom, because my mom started the Polish apostolate of Tidewater, which is now 40 years old, in Virginia, in Norfolk. And I love these women who have founded organizations. I mean, that's just so cool. I mean, you just like, you know, we started with nothing and look what we've done. My Polish apostolate is now raising money for Ukraine and has a mass has mass every month in Polish, 10 months out of the year. And you know, it's just amazing to have that legacy.
It's wonderful.
And your children should be honored with your legacy.
All right. Last but
Sorry, I didn't mean to get so emotional, y'all. I'm sorry.
last but not least is Becky. Becky's there. I know she said she was cooking dinner at one point in time. All right, she's there.
Yes, I was, and yes, I am. I am here. All right, let me see now if I can remember all the stuff everybody else has been saying. So let me walk into a room where there's more light. You can
Is
see better.
Intro, business, interesting or exotic thing you like about PWN.
Oh golly, let me start with PWN. I don't remember how many years I've been in PWN. Jennifer would have to tell me, but I don't know, 5 or 6, something like that. And I joined from another lady who invited me to go to the annual meeting. And that lady, I can't remember now who it was, she could not attend that night. So I was there by myself. And Jennifer was very helpful in introducing me to people because I knew nobody. So that's how I got started. It's been a great group. I've learned a lot from a lot of different people about what they do and how they can be helpful to each other. So that's been very exciting for me getting started in my own business. When I started going to PWN, I didn't have my own business, and I really wasn't sure that I ever was going to have my own business. I was kind of volunteer teaching for some other organizations, and I'm still doing that, but kind of branched out and started doing my own thing. So I am Becky Mossbrucker. I am the owner of Forward Safety Training. My main focus right now is teaching women and teenagers situational awareness and firearm safety. So I'm a firearms instructor. I have lots of certifications, but they're all centered around firearms. So let's see, the most exciting thing I've done was been in a competition last June with some FBI agents and some SWAT team members, and I was the only woman that got in the top 5, and I was the only woman that actually won the competition. I will never forget it. I did not shoot a 50 caliber gun like Ashley did, but beating out a bunch of men at something that I was not centered to win was awesome. So that is my claim to fame right there. I'll never forget it. I'm always going to talk about it. So something else that I'm doing is I will be a published author on March the 29th this year, in 2 weeks. A book that I contributed to is going to be published in a couple of weeks. So you'll be hearing lots of Facebook stuff about that because I'm just very excited. I've got like 4 interviews. People want to interview me now because now I'm going to have an author next to my name, a real live author. I'm so excited. So got lots of interviews lined up for all of that, going on lots of different people's podcasts. So going to be talking about that book. And then I'm already slated to write another chapter in another book and articles, safety articles for this publishing company's magazine. So there are some people, Susan, you're one of them, that I want to talk to about putting out safety information in routine articles or magazines or newsletters. So if you all have newsletters that you do for your company or know of other companies that do that and they are looking for a different angle or a new angle, I can talk about anything safety, and in particular women's safety. That's of course, you know, my thing.
And Becky, you know, that's very passionate to my heart. I mean, you and I have had discussions about this, in which we're actually trying to set up a class for kids going off to girls going off to college. I'm trying to work with Becky on that. So with getting some of my girls up, and that's what. And I left. I'm sorry, Becky, I didn't mean to interrupt. I left out why I love PWN, and this is one reason why, because I got to meet her, and this summer we are setting up a class for my daughters and their friends just to protect themselves.
I have done classes with the Girl Scouts, and so I have been introduced to somebody at ODU now who wants me to teach a class at ODU, and I'm so excited about that. I said, you know, the freshmen, at least the freshmen, they need to know this stuff because some of them have never been away from home ever, and that's their first year to not enjoy, but to get introduced to a lot of things that are probably not good for them. Anyway, so now I'm reaching out to colleges, trying to get my foot in the door there. So if you have groups of women that you want to have some safety information or situational awareness information taught to them or given to them or whatever, you know, reach out to me, let me know. I will see what I can do about that. And let's see, the best, most exotic place I've ever been. My husband and I went on a cruise for our anniversary, well, no, our wedding, which was 18 years ago. And we went to Mexico and the Bahamas, and I can't remember where else, but somewhere, wherever the cruise took us. And that whole cruise was awesome. I would go do that in a heartbeat again. He was like, nah, I don't know. I was like, well, I'm going without you. Go back. So I think for our 20-year, we're going to go cruise Alaska.
Ooh.
I will be very cold because I'm very cold natured, but he wants to go to Alaska. So I said, you know what? You went to the Caribbean for me. I will go to Alaska for you.
You'll love it.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Anyway.
We took a cruise there a couple years ago and it was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, awesome. Good. You may have to tell me some places to go because I'm not sure where to start.
I think you need to tell her when to go, like when it's warmer.
It's like in the summer you usually go.
That's
Yeah.
the only time that they do go. They, you know, there's just a certain set of months where they have the cruises. They can't go during the winter time or late fall.
Yeah, I think they generally do go when it's warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went during, I think ours was a July time frame, and it was beautiful. And we actually had a couple of days that, you know, got up almost to 60 and other days were, you know, yeah, it was cold. It was colder around the glaciers, but just absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, do some of the tours, you know, that, and yeah, and you don't always have to do the ship's tour, but I do highly recommend Celebrity Cruises. They'll take really good care of you.
And good old fashioned thermal underwear.
Oh, yeah.
Or fleece. They got fleece
Okay.
everything.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Talk to our president. She might have something for you.
A raincoat
That's
would,
it. A raincoat.
Yes, and a
okay.
raincoat.
Yeah, something like that. Something with waterproof.
That's good.
Perfect.
All right. Well, that's everybody. We lost. Sandra had to go off, but we lost, let's see, Victoria and Erica put their comments in. Erica, does Erica Digital Rice Consulting, web design, branding, and online marketing, and ericarice.com. You can, her email's in there if you want to look real quick. Or it's on the PWN site. Victoria says she has to go. Her 5-year-old was fighting bedtime. But she says she's been in PWN for 4 years, currently serving on the board as a member at large over the lunches and evening socials. And we have a few openings available. So if anyone wants to help, let her know. She's a real estate agent, residential real estate agent with Compass Real Estate team at Remax. And she's been doing that for 12 years and can help buyers or sellers or investors or for property management. Her most exotic place was, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for her honeymoon. Okay, there you go. Even in spirit. Okay. Now
Wait,
I
what?
have 1 through 12 because I thought I'd leave the people in who came. Let's see. Oh, wait, got more messages down there. And Becky says there's an event on the 14th. Is that the mastermind? PW mastermind? Transition Family Services. Okay. So I
It's
left
gonna be
it.
another workshop. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask a favor of everybody, please?
Mhm.
If you're on my newsletter, and if you're not, get on our newsletter. Please open it because we are working on our open rate and we have a lot of great events for everybody to watch. Look at. We got couples events. We got. There's all kinds of stuff for everybody to look at, and kids events, and so just open it and look at it, please. And if you see the magazine, please pick it up. but yeah, the events is actually, we have a lot. I mean, we're working on the format. I'm sorry, it's a little bit like a scroll, but that's not what our priority is right now. But look at it, we have so much stuff going on. It's really incredible what's going on with the Peninsula and why we started this.
Susan, could you leave a link in the chat? And I can copy that.
Yeah,
drop it in the
please. Thank
chat.
you. Thank you for asking. But that's just kind of how I would like, everybody to support me if you could, and support us as we move forward. Because I'm going to be asking for companies for a lot of money, and I want to show them what we've done so far.
That's good.
So
I have always said, if you find yourself bored on the peninsula, you're just not looking.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Jennifer, that is awesome. I'm going to write that down.
Yes, you can quote me.
Yes, yes. I'm going to put, actually, that's going in the next, publication.
Perfect.
Yes.
And your publication's so needed. We ended up giving up our daily press subscription because it basically became all about the South Side and very little about the Peninsula. And we
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so that is exactly right. We need to focus in on our own community, our own backyard, and that's right. That's my roots. I worked at the Statesboro Herald, which was the smallest daily in Georgia, right outside Savannah. Little did I know when I used to go into Savannah to get away from people who knew me in Statesboro, because I was in a small town, 45 minutes west, I would see Savannah College of Art and Design signs. And now my daughter is considering going there. That just blows my mind.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's just, so, well, yeah, that's her top pick, but it's just really like it's so full circle, and they were established in 1978 by a woman who was a teacher and was seeing that the arts were getting disseminated in elementary school classrooms. And that's why she started with her parents. It's an amazing story. 1978. They're huge. If you go down to Savannah, that's all you see. SCAD signs everywhere. It's really, really cool story.
All right. Our awaited raffle. Okay, so I put in 1 through, should I do it with everyone here or everyone who came? I kind of had everyone who came. Is that okay? All right, I have a method for them too.
You're
okay,
fine.
So random number
It's a
generator.
raffle, you do it your way.
Okay, random number generator. Ready, set. It was 10. So 10 on my list would actually be the first person left, so that would be Erica.
Oh, never mind. Erica isn't here.
You can go
You
and
gotta be
find
present to win. You call him out, Jennifer. You got to be present to win.
No, I said she could do it however she wanted.
This is that.
That's true.
We
That's true.
ran longer. You're on mute.
Muted.
You're muted, Nicole.
But you looked good doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I was saying there was an infomercial in there. If you didn't win, you can own one yourself by shopping from the online store.
That's what I was saying. If you didn't win this lovely water bottle and you want your own, you are more than welcome to go to our store and purchase that. Or I have a sweatshirt and I have 2 sweatshirts and one of these.
I have a water bottle and a sweatshirt and a t-shirt. I love them all.
I have a t-shirt and a sticker and something else. I can't remember now.
Yep. And they had like masks and all sorts of, they had like teddy bears. Not that that would really make sense for us, but I just thought it was fun. And
those shoes are supposed to be really cheap. That's what Jody told me. Jody Dean. Jody Dean get coasters.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they have coasters.
She said they're cool and they're cheap. But I told if my company ever gets to the point where we're going to do the koozies, I'm going to get the ones that the kids are drinking now, those seltzer size, the Trulies.
Oh, the little.
Yeah, I can tell I have college kids, and so yeah, they have those.
I'll say, I'm happy it's college kids and not kids.
No, yeah, my kids, they had those Trulies, and I was like, they said no, the koozies fit. I said, well, that's what I'm gonna get now. I'm gonna get those skinny ones because that will attract you youngsters. She's like, yeah, good idea, Mom. Oh, wait, my kid just told me I had a good idea.
Hope you wrote that date down.
Yeah.
What happened again?
Oh, thanks for doing this, Ashley. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that shared and came out to chat with us. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. I needed it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I had a little breakdown a little bit there.
No worries.
Glad you're in a safe place, comfortable
Yeah.
with your friends.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. And that kind of concludes our general meeting. I hope you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did. I loved hearing all about you guys and just PWN moments and everything you guys are doing it. So I love, people, I'm like Nicole, people are fascinating. I think people are just fascinating. So, all right. Well, thank
For
you.
having it on Zoom, it does make it a whole lot easier to get here in the evenings.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I'd be here a lot sooner than, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great night. See you all soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
And I can't do that.
Live long and
You're supposed
prosper.
to do this.
I can't do it.
For Virginia Tech.
Oh, I was